Well, hello friends from Cholula, Mexico, and today I'm going to take you to explore the largest pyramid in the entire world. So, interesting history on the Great Pyramid here at Cholula. When the Spanish conquered Mexico, they came here to Cholula and they tried to tear down this Great Pyramid, which proved to be basically an impossible task. So they ended up covering the entire site with dirt, and then they built their own cathedral on the very top of the pyramid. And we're going to go up and explore that because that's a National Historic Site in itself. It was built in the 1590s, I believe. And what makes this site so impressive is everything you see here, although it looks like just lawn and grass and just a big pile of dirt, this is actually the pyramid. We're actually standing on top of the main courtyard right here. So although it's not as tall as the Great Pyramids in Egypt, the base area of the Great Pyramid here at Cholula is over 1,000 feet on each side, which by volume makes it more than twice as big as the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt. So here's a good example, friends. You can climb this much up to this level, this tier. You see the next tier is not excavated yet, and then there's another one after that, and then another one after that, and it just keeps going up until you have that cathedral at the very top. You can see how much dirt is on top of the actual ruins. Friends, it's actually incredible how big this site is. All of these hills and mounds that you see has pyramid underneath it. I've been walking around the base of these mounds for over an hour. The size of this site is absolutely immense. So you can see here some of the excavations. We're actually quite far up on the tiers of the pyramid. Although it just looks like park, there's quite a bit underneath exactly where we're standing. So you can see here just one example of how far down the excavation is going, and this continues on. All that grass you see up there, there's more tiers and levels underneath, so you would have to undermine basically the entire town to get to the full extent of this pyramid. And in fact, this pyramid is so big, it contains over 8 kilometers of tunnels underneath the pyramid, and I think almost 1 kilometer of those tunnels is open to the public, so I plan on exploring those. But first, we're going to go up and check out this cathedral on the top of the pyramid. So getting to Cholula was quite easy. Cholula is about a 20-minute drive from the centro of Puebla, so there are several ways to get here. I just grabbed an Uber. It was for the 20 to 25-minute Uber ride. It was 89 pesos. Can't beat it. So right beside the museum, you have the entrance to the tunnels. Unfortunately, the tunnels are closed right now. Heading up towards the cathedral on the top, although it just looks like a big mound of dirt, you can see here access points to some of the tunnels that are interwoven all underneath this pyramid. In fact, this ancient complex in itself with all the other temples and architectural sites surrounding the Great Pyramid of Cholula, it encompasses an area of almost 500 acres. So the entire town of Cholula has been built on top of this, so it will never be excavated. So you can see over there another one of the unexcavated mounds, and we'll head up to the top. So you can see where we started down there, and all of this agricultural area that just looks like park actually has pyramid ruins directly underneath it. And from the top of the pyramid here, you have the best view of Cholula. Now, access to the church is free, but to access the ruins of the pyramid and the museum and to gain entry into the tunnels, it costs 90 pesos. And if you want to take pictures or videos like I am, it costs an additional 50 pesos. So 140 pesos total. Interestingly, when the Aztecs built this temple, in their language, Nahuatl, the name for this temple was mountain built by hands. And then the Spanish come along and they build their temple by hand on the top of that one. And it's just ironic because it so goes against what the scriptures actually say and what Jesus Christ actually reveals to us about what the actual true temple is. It tells us in the book of Acts when Paul went to Athens and he saw all these temples and the people worshiping temples, and he was trying to relate to them that God created the heavens and the earth. He created everything. He's not going to be reduced to living in a temple that's made by mere human hands. The old covenant temple of the Jewish people was replaced by a better and new covenant, and that is Jesus Christ. That's the whole point. He replaces all of that. You no need to try to access God through these means. In fact, God tells us that we are now the temple. Christ will come to live within you, and you become one with Christ when you come to salvation. So it replaces all of these things. You don't need to go through any sort of religious rituals or rites or ceremonies to find salvation. Friends, you can find salvation right in your living room all by yourself right now within a minute. You look at the thief on the cross. The reason why he found salvation in Jesus Christ is because he recognized that he was a sinner and he deserved hellfire. He understood that, and so he turned to Christ and said, "Forgive me." He was repentant, and Christ at that moment forgave him. He didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to go anywhere. He didn't have to join a religion. He didn't have to pray and practice religious rituals and ceremonies. Christ said, "This day you will be with me in paradise," and that's the same thing that you have. That's why the new covenant in Christ is so infinitely much better than these things and religions that are built up by man. It's very, very simple for salvation, friends. May you find it. May you understand that it's that simple. May you understand that we all need salvation. We've all sinned, every single one of us. You're no different than me and everyone else. We all need this salvation. That's the only way to be reconciled back to the Father. And that's the difference between eternal glory in heaven and eternal damnation in the lake of fire, is just our own pride and refusal to admit that we are sinners and we need salvation. And I hope you find it. Friends, I hope you enjoyed this adventure today. Have a blessed day, everyone.